Let's talk 1071 principal ownership and BSA AML beneficial ownership. Hi there, this is Jared Moyer with Bankers Compliance Consulting. I bet you're wondering, why would we talk about those two things at the same time? Well, you see, there's similar things, two different rules, similar things, and with the current rule that's in place that is the beneficial ownership, it sounds a lot like the principal ownership requirements under 1071, and that's where we have our danger, folks. We are doing something currently that sounds a lot like something that we have to do in the future, but trust me, it's enough different that it's going to cause problems. People are going to think they know what they need to seek out and do, and yet they're going to possibly end up doing the wrong thing. And you can't stop doing this other thing either. And so you've got to manage both. Okay? Even though they sound alike, you've got to manage both and understand that there's going to be differences in how we go about it. So we have a solution to help you all as you start and begin to have these conversations. I want to start with this. Make sure you get both parties to the table. The people that are doing the 1071 collection and then the reporting of it, that'd be your commercial lending folks, and the BSA AML folks. Get them both at the table, at the same time so you can have that discussion. In order to facilitate the discussion, we think this tool, this comparison chart, might help you as you go about that mission. Now, let me explain a little bit about this comparison chart. I'm going to blow it up here on the screen so we take a closer look at it. We're not going to go through it line by line. That's something we do in our training sessions. It's something that we did as part of our 1071 membership group. And if you want more details on that, I'm going to share a few here in just a moment, but you can pick up the phone and reach out to us, email us. We'd love to have a discussion about how that membership works. So it's a 1071 principal owner versus BSA AML beneficial owner comparison chart. Pretty simple and straightforward. There's two columns, okay, on the right-hand side. One is labeled 1071 principal owners. The other one is labeled beneficial ownership. Okay, that's the BSA AML component. Then on the left, that first column, it's the 14 areas that we identified that appear to be similar on the surface, but may not be exactly the same thing when you set them down side by side. And if you'll go to the very bottom of the comparison chart, you're going to note that we've included a note that upon closer evaluation, only 2 of the 14 areas are exactly the same. The 2 are, you got to be a natural person, whether you're a principal owner under 1071 or a beneficial owner under the BSA AML rules, and then how they identify ownership from the actual percentage of ownership standpoint. That threshold's the same. It's 25%, but that's where the similarities stop as far as them being exactly the same one compared to the other. Okay? The other things that appear similar aren't actually the exact same thing when you set it down side by side. For example, if you look at the identification of principal owners on of these two groups. In the 1071 rule, if you look at the identification of the third line down, you must ask, but a response is not required under 1071. Well, when you're identifying beneficial owners, a response is required. You can't open up the account without it. And so again, something that seems so similar on the surface is actually different. And that's what we do as you work through this comparison chart. And we hope that it will help you as you have that conversation. And the BSA AML team starts to understand what's going to be required under 1071. And your frontline commercial lending staff, they understand what's going to be required under 1071 that's closely resembling, but not exactly the same as the BSA AML beneficial ownership requirements. Both missions have to be carried out. Sometimes you're going to have the same people. Sometimes you won't. And how you go about getting there is going to be a little bit different as we go through and do the collection process. So again, sharing this tool to help you all as you carry out that mission. Now, I mentioned the in-depth training, the line by line as we walk through that form. That's something that we carry out in the 1071 Thought Leadership Implementation and Planning Membership Group. I know many of you listening likely are members and you were along for that ride, or you have access to go back and listen to it again. If you're not a member, there's a ton of benefits that come with this membership. You get access to the tools first. We have access to training libraries that are 1071 that you don't pay extra for. As long as you're a member, there's one-on-one consultations that you get on a quarterly basis. If you'd like to know more, reach out to us. We'd love to have a conversation about how we might partner with one another. If the membership group's not for you, we've got a la carte training. We've got an entire training library that you can check out, our 1071 trainings. We've got things that are there currently available on demand and things that are coming down the road in the form of live that we'll be adding to that. And then we also have our quick response consultation. If you've got questions, 1071 or anything else compliance related that's in our wheelhouse, Okay, we've got a product to help you out with that as well. Okay, we simply want to be able to provide you solutions so you can go out there and comply with the requirements that are set in front of you.